Good day, beautiful Monday to you. Welcome to Sports Scope on a live news where we bring you the biggest sports stories making headlines across the globe. I am Amarachi Odinaka. Well, coming up on today's program, the Super Falcons title defense at the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations has come to an end following a narrow quarterfinals defeat to Cameroon. Well, we'll look back at Nigeria's campaign as the defending champions bow out of the competition and now turn their attention to the CAF playoffs where they'll battle for a place at the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. We'll also bring you the latest on the President's Reward presented to the team following their triumph at the 2025 Wafcon. Our attention will also turn to club football with the new league season getting underway across various competitions and making development taking place and major developments taking place in the world of football. Well, furthermore, on the show, we'll bring you the latest from the World Athletics Under 20 Championships, where Team Nigeria produced a commendable display on the global stage with the championship concluding on Sunday night, August 9th. I'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll bring you the latest developments in sports. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sports Scope on our live news. I am Amarachi Odinaka. Well, now to the stories we have for today. The Super Falcons of Nigeria's title defense at the Wafcon 2026 is over. Nigerians' hope of returning to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations came to an end in Casablanca on Saturday night, 8th of August, after the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon secured a 1-0 victory in the quarterfinals. It was a disappointing result for Nigerian supporters as the Super Falcons' journey in Morocco came to an end at the quarterfinal stage. Cameroon took the lead in the 19th minute after Super Falcons midfielder Jennifer Echegini was penalized for a foul just outside the Nigerian penalty area. The Super Falcons responded immediately, pushing forward in search for an equalizer. Nigerians forward Gift Monday came close to restoring the parity, but Cameroonian goalkeeper Misli Behina made a crucial save to keep her side in front. Now, Behina made 9 saves during the match, repeatedly denying Nigeria and helping Cameroon protect their lead against the Super Falcons.
Point blank range, she delivers yet another possession. Nigeria on the attack. It's excellent play down that left-hand side. The shot comes in. Michele, the follow-up. Toko Enjoy gets the... Oh, it's punched over. Cleared there by Naduzi. It's a high ball. It's going up. Okaronko. Nigeria goes close. It goes wide of the target. They survive. It passed the goalkeeper, went wide. Picked up by Nigeria. How many? There's the final whistle. Cameroon are into the semi-finals of Wafcon.
Nigeria continued to press until the final minute, but the Super Falcons could not find an equalizer. The final whistle confirmed a 1-0 victory for the indomitable Lionesses and brought Super Falcons' 2026 Wafcon campaign to an end. And with the Super Falcons quarterfinals, is it now confirmed? The only 3 quarterfinal ties have now determined the teams joining Cameroon in the last 4. Now, the other quarterfinal results also had other plenty of dramas. Algeria came from behind to defeat Cote d'Ivoire 2-1, while host Morocco secured a 2-1 victory over South Africa. Wafcon debutant Malawi completed the semi-final lineup with 2-1 victory over Ghana. The results have set up 2 exciting semi-final clashes, with Morocco facing Algeria while Cameroon take on Malawi.
Delivery, because this surely is it. Kumalo gets the touch, and Kanda Wire away, and that's it! Malawi, the rank outsiders, tournament debutants, 32nd best team theoretically in Africa, are through to the Women's World Cup. They are nicknamed the Scorchers, and they have been red hot at this tournament. They have beaten Ghana by 2-1, and they will be taking their place amongst the finest teams on the planet.
Now, this means the 2026 Wafcon semi-finals will see Morocco face Algeria, Cameroon take on Malawi, and both matches will be played on 13th August in Morocco. Now, one of the major prizes at stake at this Wafcon 2026 is the qualification for the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. Now, the 4 teams that have gone through to the Wafcon 2026 semi-finals will automatically qualify for the 2027 World Cup in Brazil. Nigeria, however, must now take a longer route following their 1-0 quarterfinals defeat to Cameroon. The Super Falcons have lost the direct qualification route, but their Wafcon dream remains alive through a 2-stage playoff round. The 4 quarterfinal losers will enter a CAF playoffs with 2 places in the FIFA Women's 2026 playoff tournament at stake. Now, the 4 teams involved are Nigeria, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana. Nigeria will face South Africa on Thursday, 13th August, with kickoff scheduled for 9 p.m. Now, the Super Falcons must win this CAF playoffs to keep their World Cup hopes alive, which is the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. Now, a defeat at this stage would end the Super Falcons' route to Brazil. Now, further on the qualification route for the Super Falcons, we'll see that if the Super Falcons win the CAF playoff, the Super Falcons would advance to the FIFA Women's World Cup in Brazil, the playoff tournament, which brings together 10 teams from the different confederations. Now, the tournament will decide the final 3 teams to qualify for the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. Well, for Nigeria, the task is clear: win the CAF playoffs, reach the international playoff, win again, and qualify for the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. So, for better understanding, the Super Falcons have to, play in the CAF playoffs. They're going to take on South Africa on August 13th. Now, furthermore, they would now go into the FIFA International Continental Playoffs, where you have 10 teams, competing for that. We hope that the Super Falcons get through to that. Meanwhile, the National Sports Commission has confirmed that the Super Falcons have received the presidential reward approved by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu following their 2025 Wafcon triumph. Now, each of the 24 players and 12 officials has reportedly received their title documents for a fully furnished 3-bedroom homes in Abuja, alongside certificates confirming their national honors. And so that has been approved by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But furthermore, the Commission also confirmed cash rewards of the Naira equivalent of $100,000 for each player's $50,000 US for each coach and technical officials. I'll take that again. The Super Falcons, they've been confirmed that their $100,000 each players were promised after their 2025 Wafcon triumph in Morocco still has now been given to the players. And for the officials and coaching, the coach crew and the officials, they have $50,000 US, and it has been confirmedly paid by the NFC. Now, with Nigeria's men's team not qualifying for the just concluded 2026 Wafcon, where we saw it took place in USA, Mexico, and Canada. The Super Falcons will be looking to keep Nigeria's World Cup hope alive when they face South Africa in the CAF playoffs on Thursday. Now, attention will also be on the Nigerian Football Federation to make a statement on this matter, particularly with its 2026 Executive Committee elections scheduled for September 28 in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Yes, the NFF elections is coming up on September 28 and it will take place in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Now, turning back to the Super Falcons, the players are expected to be back at the training sessions and they're preparing for Thursday's crucial encounter with South Africa. The focus is now firmly on securing a place at the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. Now, away from the international scene, attention will now turn to club football, where the summer transfer window is heating up and preparations for the new season are gathering pace. Well, we've had conversations on the Super Falcons and now we're turning our attention to club football. We hope the Super Falcons the best, wish them the best as they go on to take on South Africa on Saturday. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll dive into the latest conversations from the world of club football away from international women's football. Stay with us. Welcome back to Sportscope on the Live News, and now we're away from international football. We're diving into club football, and we'll begin this segment with the latest from the pre-seasons as several top clubs were in action yesterday, August 9th, ahead of the new 2026-2027 season. Well, Manchester City secured a 3-1 victory over Atletico Madrid. Chelsea were held to a 3-3 draw by Malaysian side Johor Darul Ta'zim. Liverpool suffered a 3-2 defeat to AS Monaco, and Marseille claimed a 3-1 victory over Athletic Club. Meanwhile, more details have emerged following the death of Lionel Messi's father, who passed away on Saturday at the age of 63. Now, the Argentine businessman had been battling a long illness with the news prompting tributes from across the football community. Now, Lionel Messi is currently in his hometown, Rosario, Argentina, after traveling from the United States following his father's death. Well, reports say the Inter Miami player Messi arrived by plane on Saturday night and is expected to attend a private memorial service. It remains unclear when he would return to Inter Miami. Meanwhile, Inter Miami paid a tribute to Messi's father during Saturday League's Cup loss to Monterrey. Well, Inter Miami players also wore black armband in tribute to the father of their captain. Now, our thoughts and prayers are with Lionel Messi and his family during this difficult time. Now, away from football, we turn our attentions to athletics. World Athletics Under-20 Championship had come to a dramatic close in Oregon, bringing together some of the world's brightest young athletes' talents across track and field. Now, the United States topped the final medal table with 24 points, including 12 medals, while Kenya finished second and Italy third. Jamaica placed fourth overall with 8 medals, 2 golds, 3 silvers, and 3 bronze. For Team Nigeria, the campaign ended with 7 medals, 4 gold, and 3 bronze. One of the biggest highlights came from Jessica Oji, who made history by winning the women's shot put with a throw of 18.8 meters. Well, she became Nigeria's first World Under-20 champion in a field event.
It really set the scene. My first throw would have won the comp. Pretty much any of my throws would have won the comp. So just very happy that I was able to put it out there and assert my dominance here at the Worlds.
Let me capture your feelings now.
Honestly, I don't even know how to feel. I was kind of not really expecting the distance that I was throwing today. I was expecting like 17 high, maybe 17 mid. When I threw 18, I was like, damn, okay, we got something going today. So just very happy with that.
That's who you dedicate this to.
Second?
Who do you dedicate this to? This gold medal?
I dedicate this to my parents and my family. I'll give this award since day one.
Congratulations.
Well, more on athletics. The second edition of the Enugu City International Marathon is set for August 29th, 2026, as runners prepare to take on the streets of the coast city, Enugu State. Well, the events will feature the 42 kilometers marathon and the 10 kilometers fun run. Well, the marathon will start at 6:30 a.m., while the 10 kilometers race will begin at 8:30 a.m. But the event is expected to attract athletes from across Nigeria and beyond, while showcasing Enugu's sporting, cultural, and tourism potential. Well, we'll take a short break now, but before we take a short break, I would be joined by a sports analyst on the show to dive into conversations and, to bring us back to conversations on the Super Falcons, their campaign at the 2026 Wafcon, which has sadly come to an end, and also, other tactics and things to do to make sure Nigeria qualifies. Nigeria is going to take on South Africa to get through to the CAF playoffs and then go further to the FIFA playoffs, the International Continental playoffs, to qualify for the 2027 World Cup in Brazil. We'll take a short break now. Welcome back to Sports Cope. I'm still Amarachi Odinaka, and you're still live on Alive News. Like we said earlier on the show, the Super Falcons are out of the Wafcon 2026. For the semi-finals team, we have four teams through to the semi-finals. We have Cameroon, we have Morocco, Algeria, and Malawi. Well, Morocco is going to take on Algeria, Cameroon will take on Malawi. And now down to the four teams they are going to face off in the CAF playoffs. We have Nigeria, South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana. Well, Nigeria will take on South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire will take on Ghana in their pursuit for a qualification for the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. And after the CAF playoffs, they go on to the FIFA International Continental Playoffs. But that's much on today's show. That brings us to the end of today's edition of Sports Cope. Thank you for staying with us. It's been a pleasure bringing you the latest updates in sports. I am Amarachi Odinaka for our live news. Have a wonderful day.
This is ANN.